Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to discuss how to force yourself to build the strongest mindset. Now, I want you to pay close attention because what I'm about to share with you could change the entire trajectory of your life. You see, your mindset is everything. It's the foundation upon which you build your life. It's the lens through which you view the world. It's the engine that drives your actions. And here's the thing, your mindset is not set in stone. It's not something you're born with and stuck with for the rest of your life. No, your mindset is something you can shape, mold, and strengthen. But it takes effort. It takes discipline. It takes a willingness to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. Now, why am I using the word force here? Because, my friends, building a strong mindset isn't always comfortable. It's not always easy. There will be times when you don't feel like it, when you want to give up, when you want to take the easy way out. But that's precisely when you need to force yourself to keep going. That's when you need to dig deep and push through. Let me tell you something. The quality of your life will be in direct proportion to the strength of your mindset. If you have a weak mindset, you'll crumble at the first sign of adversity. You'll give up on your dreams at the first obstacle. You'll settle for mediocrity because you don't believe you deserve better. But if you have a strong mindset, that's when life becomes truly extraordinary. With a strong mindset, you'll see obstacles as opportunities. You'll view failures as stepping stones to success. You'll embrace challenges because you know they're making you stronger. You'll pursue your dreams with unwavering determination because you know you have what it takes to achieve them. Now, I could already hear some of you thinking, but Jim, I wasn't born with a strong mindset. I've always been plagued by self-doubt and fear. Well, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is where you're going and what you're willing to do to get there. You see, building a strong mindset is like building a muscle. It requires consistent effort, progressive overload, and sometimes a bit of discomfort. But just like building physical strength, the results are worth it. The stronger your mindset becomes, the more resilient you'll be, the more confident you'll feel, and the more success you'll achieve. So how do we go about forcing ourselves to build the strongest mindset? Well, it starts with a decision. You have to decide right here and now that you're going to commit to this process. You have to decide that you're no longer going to let fear, doubt, or negativity control your life. You have to decide that you're going to do whatever it takes to build an unshakable mindset. Once you've made that decision, the next step is to start challenging your current thought patterns. You see, most of us have habitual ways of thinking that don't serve us well. We have limiting beliefs that hold back. We have negative self-talk that undermines our confidence. And if we want to build a strong mindset, we need to challenge and change these patterns. Start paying attention to your thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking something negative or limiting, stop and question it. Is this thought really true? Is it helping me or holding me back? What would be a more empowering way to think about this situation? This process of questioning and reframing your thoughts is crucial in building a stronger mindset. Now, let me tell you, this isn't always easy. Our minds are experts at coming up with reasons why we can't do something, why we're not good enough, why we should just give up. But here's where the force part comes in. You have to force yourself to challenge these thoughts. You have to force yourself to look for evidence that contradicts your limiting beliefs. You have to force yourself to focus on the positive, on what's possible, on your potential. Another crucial aspect of building a strong mindset is developing discipline. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's what allows you to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. And let me tell you, if you want to build a strong mindset, you're going to need discipline. Start by setting small, achievable goals for yourself. Maybe it's reading a personal development book for 30 minutes each day. Maybe it's practicing meditation for 10 minutes every morning. Maybe it's exercising for 20 minutes 3 times a week. Whatever it is, start small and commit to it. Force yourself to follow through, no matter what. As you consistently achieve these small goals, you'll start to build confidence. You'll start to trust yourself more. You'll start to believe in your ability to do what you set out to do. And that, my friends, is the foundation of a strong mind. Now let's talk about the power of your environment. Jim Rohn, and that's me, famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." And when it comes to building a strong mindset, this couldn't be more true. If you want to strengthen your mindset, you need to surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and push you to be better. Take a look at your current circle of influence. Are these people supporting your growth or holding you back? Are they inspiring you to reach for more or encouraging you to settle for less? Remember, you have the power to choose who you spend your time with. Force yourself to seek out relationships that will elevate you, that will strengthen your mindset. This might mean joining a mastermind group. It might mean finding a mentor. It might mean attending personal development seminars or workshops. Whatever it is, make the effort to put yourself in environments that will support your growth and strengthen your mindset. Now, let's talk about the role of adversity in building a strong mindset. You see, many people try to avoid challenges and difficulties. They see adversity as something negative, something to be feared. But if you want to build the strongest mindset, you need to change your relationship with adversity. Instead of trying to avoid challenges, start seeking them out. Force yourself to do things that scare you. Force yourself to step outside your comfort zone. Because here's the truth. It's in facing and overcoming challenges that your mindset grows stronger. Think about it like this. When you go to the gym to build physical strength, you don't lift weights that are easy for you. No, you challenge yourself with weights that are difficult, that push you to your limits. The same principle applies to building mental strength. You need to challenge your mind, push it to its limits in order for it to grow stronger. So start looking for opportunities to challenge yourself. Maybe it's public speaking if that's something that terrifies you. Maybe it's learning a new skill that seems daunting. Maybe it's setting a goal that seems just out of reach. Whatever it is, force yourself to embrace these challenges, because each time you face a fear, each time you overcome an obstacle, your mindset grows strong. Now let's talk about the power of positive self-talk. The conversations you have with yourself are perhaps the most important conversations you'll ever have. They shape your beliefs, your attitudes, and ultimately your actions. If you want to build a strong mindset, you need to become very intentional about how you talk to yourself. Start by becoming aware of your current self-talk. Are you constantly criticizing yourself? Are you focusing on your weaknesses rather than your strengths? Are you telling yourself that you can't do something before you even try? If so, it's time to make a change. Force yourself to speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement. Force yourself to focus on your strengths and your potential. Force yourself to use phrases like "I can," "I will," and "I am capable." It might feel awkward or unnatural at first, especially if you're used to negative self-talk. But remember, we're building new habits here. We're rewiring your brain for success. One powerful technique is to create a set of personal affirmations. These are positive statements about yourself and your abilities that you repeat regularly. Things like, "I am confident and capable," "I embrace challenges as opportunities for growth," "I am worthy of success and happiness." Say these to yourself every morning when you wake up and every night before you go to bed. Force yourself to do this consistently, even if you don't believe the statements at first. Because here's the thing, your mind believes what you tell it most often. So feed it empowering thoughts. Now let's talk about the importance of continuous learning in building a strong mindset. One of the hallmarks of a strong mindset is a thirst for knowledge, a desire to constantly grow and improve. If you want to strengthen your mindset, you need to commit to lifelong learning. Read books that challenge your thinking and expand your knowledge. Listen to podcasts that inspire and motivate you. Attend seminars and workshops that teach you new skills. Force yourself to learn something new every single day. It doesn't have to be big. Even 15 minutes of focused learning can make a difference. Remember, the world is constantly changing. New technologies are emerging, new ideas are being developed, new opportunities are arising. If you're not continually learning and growing, you're falling behind. A strong mindset is an adaptable mindset, one that's always ready to take on new challenges and seize new opportunities. Let's move on to discuss the power of goal setting and building a strong mindset. You see, having clear, compelling goals gives your mind direction. It gives you something to strive for, something to focus on. Without goals, it's easy to drift, to lose motivation, to settle for less than you're capable of. So, force yourself to set big, audacious goals. Goals that excite you, that scare you a little bit. Goals that push you out of your comfort zone and require you to grow. Write these goals down. Look at them every day. Visualize yourself achieving them. But here's the key. It's not just about setting the goals. It's about taking consistent action towards them. Break your big goals down into smaller, manageable steps. Create a plan of action. And then force yourself to take action every single day, no matter how small, towards your goals. This consistent action does two things. First, it moves you closer to your goals. But perhaps more importantly, it strengthens your mindset. It builds your confidence. It reinforces your belief in your ability to achieve what you set out to do. And that, my friends, is the essence of a strong mindset. Now, let's talk about the role of gratitude in building a strong mindset. You might be wondering, what does gratitude have to do with a strong mindset? Well, let me tell you, it has everything to do with it. Gratitude is one of the most powerful mindset shifts you can make. You see, it's easy to focus on what's wrong in your life, on what you don't have, on your problems and challenges. But when you force yourself to focus on what you're grateful for, something magical happens. Your perspective shifts. You start to see opportunities where before you only saw obstacles. You start to appreciate what you have instead of always wanting more. You become more resilient in the face of adversity because you're able to see the good even in difficult situations. So, force yourself to practice gratitude daily. Start and end each day by listing 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. It could be as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a kind word from a friend, or a beautiful sunset. The key is to make this a habit, to train your mind to look for the positive in every situation. Let's move on to discuss the importance of taking responsibility in building a strong mindset. You see, one of the key differences between people with strong mindsets and those with weak mindsets is their locus of control. People with strong mindsets have an internal locus of control. They believe that they are in charge of their lives, that their actions determine their outcomes. People with weak mindsets, on the other hand, have an external locus of control. They believe that external factors like luck, fate, or other people control their lives. If you want to build the strongest mindset, you need to take full responsibility for your life. This means no more blaming others for your problems. No more making excuses. No more playing the victim. Force yourself to look at every situation and ask, what's my role in this? What can I do to improve this situation? This shift in perspective is incredibly empowering. When you take responsibility, you take control. You stop being a passive victim of circumstances and become an active creator of your life. Yes, there will always be things outside of your control. But a strong mindset focuses on what you can control. Your thoughts, your actions, your responses. Now, let's talk about the power of persistence in building a strong mindset. You see, life is going to throw obstacles your way. You're going to face setbacks and failures. You're going to have days when you feel like giving up. And it's in these moments that the strength of your mindset is truly tested. A strong mindset is characterized by persistence. It's the ability to keep going when things get tough, to pick yourself up after a failure and try again, to stay committed to your goals even when progress seems slow or non-existent. So force yourself to persist. When you feel like giving up, force yourself to take one more step. When you face a setback, force yourself to learn from it and try again. When progress is slow, force yourself to celebrate small victories and keep moving forward. Remember, success is rarely a straight line. It's a series of ups and downs, twists and turns, but it's those who persist, who refuse to give up, who ultimately succeed. So cultivate persistence. Make it a cornerstone of your mindset. Let's move on to discuss the importance of embracing discomfort in building a strong mindset. You see, growth happens outside of your comfort zone. If you always stay within the boundaries of what's comfortable and familiar, you'll never grow, you'll never reach your full potential. A strong mindset is one that's willing to embrace discomfort for the sake of growth. It's one that understands that temporary discomfort is a small price to pay for long-term success and fulfillment. So force yourself to do things that make you uncomfortable. Force yourself to face your fears. Force yourself to take on challenges that stretch you. Maybe it's having that difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Maybe it's applying for that job you think you're not qualified for. Maybe it's sharing your ideas in a meeting even though you're afraid of criticism. Whatever it is, force yourself to step into that discomfort. Because each time you do, you're strengthening your mindset, you're expanding your comfort zone, you're becoming more resilient and more confident. Now let's talk about the power of visualization in building a strong mindset. Visualization is a technique used by many successful people across various fields, from athletes to entrepreneurs to artists. And there's a good reason for this. Visualization works. When you visualize yourself succeeding, when you create a vivid mental image of achieving your goals, you're programming your mind for success. You're creating neural pathways that make that success feel more achievable, more real. You're building belief in yourself and your abilities. So, force yourself to practice visualization regularly. Spend time each day visualizing your ideal future. See yourself achieving your goals. Feel the emotions associated with that success. Make it as vivid and detailed as possible. The more real you can make it in your mind, the more your subconscious will work to make it a reality. Let's move on to discuss the importance of self-care in building a strong mindset. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Jim, we're talking about forcing ourselves to build a strong mindset. How does self-care fit into that? Well, let me tell you. It fits in very importantly. You see, building a strong mindset isn't about pushing yourself to the point of burnout. It's not about grinding yourself into the ground. A truly strong mindset understands the importance of balance, of taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. So force yourself to prioritize self-care. Force yourself to get enough sleep, to eat nutritious food, to exercise regularly. Force yourself to take breaks when you need them, to engage in activities that recharge you, because here's the thing. You can't pour from an empty cup. If you want to have the energy, the focus, the resilience to build a strong mindset, you need to take care of yourself. Now, let's talk about the power of forgiveness in building a strong mindset. This might seem like an odd topic in this context, but bear with me. You see, holding on to grudges, harboring resentment, these things weaken your mindset. They keep you stuck in the past. They drain your energy. They cloud your judgment. A strong mindset is one that's able to forgive. To forgive others, yes, but perhaps more importantly, to forgive yourself. To let go past mistakes, to release yourself from the burden of perfectionism, to give yourself permission to be human. So, force yourself to practice forgiveness. When you make a mistake, acknowledge it, learn from it, and then forgive yourself and move on. When others wrong you, find the strength to forgive them. Not for their sake, but for your own peace of mind. This doesn't mean you have to forget or allow the same behavior to continue. It simply means you're choosing not to let it control your thoughts and emotions anymore. Let's move on to discuss the importance of adaptability in building a strong mindset. In today's fast-paced, ever-changing world, the ability to adapt is crucial. A strong mindset is a flexible mindset, one that's able to adjust to new situations, to pivot when necessary, to see change not as a threat but as an opportunity. So, force yourself to embrace change. When faced with unexpected situations or setbacks, resist the urge to panic or retreat. Instead, ask yourself, how can I adapt to this? What opportunities might this present? Cultivate a mindset that sees change as a chance for growth and innovation. Remember, it's not the strongest or the most intelligent who survive, but those who are most adaptable to change. Now, let's talk about the power of purpose in building a strong mindset. Having a clear sense of purpose, that drives you, is like rocket fuel for your mindset. It gives you direction, motivation, and resilience. When you have a strong purpose, obstacles become challenges to overcome rather than roadblocks. So force yourself to dig deep and identify your purpose. What truly matters to you? What impact do you want to have on the world? What legacy do you want to leave? Once you've identified your purpose, let it guide your decisions and actions. Let it be the compass that keeps you moving forward, even when the path gets tough. In conclusion, building the strongest mindset is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong journey of growth, learning, and self-discovery. It requires consistent effort, discipline, and a willingness to push beyond your comfort zone. But let me tell you, the rewards are immeasurable. With a strong mindset, you'll be able to weather any storm, seize any opportunity, and create the life you truly desire. Remember, you have within you right now everything you need to build an unshakable mindset. You have the power to choose your thoughts, to shape your beliefs, to determine your actions. So I challenge you, starting today, to force yourself to build the strongest mindset possible. Push yourself. Challenge yourself. Believe in yourself. And watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. The journey won't always be easy. There will be days when you want to give up, when your old habits and thought patterns try to reassert themselves. But in those moments, remember why you started this journey. Remember the person you're becoming, the life you're creating, and force yourself to keep going, to keep growing, to keep strengthening your mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, you have the potential for greatness within you. You have the ability to create an extraordinary life, and it all starts with your mindset. So go forth from here with renewed determination. Commit to this process of building the strongest mindset. And I promise you, the person you'll become, the life you'll create will be beyond anything you've ever imagined. Thank you. And remember, your mindset is your most powerful tool. Use it wisely, strengthen it daily, and watch as it transforms your world.